Graphics helper functions. Here we are. This is a bigger example, which we'll copy and we'll paste here. And then we'll go ahead and run this. And we see we got a whole bunch of Belgian flags. Great. So now we could have code to draw each of these Belgian flags, but because we're doing something over and over again, it begs the obvious question, how do we do it in a helper function that we call repeatedly? That's an important approach to any problem solving, and it's one of the most important things you learn in 112 is how to break problems down into subproblems and then write helper functions that correspond to those subproblems. So we're going to have a helper function for drawing a Belgian flag. In fact, we'll call it draw Belgian flag. And the parameters it's going to take is the canvas, because you always have to draw into something, so that will be the canvas we're drawing into. And then the left, top, right, bottom. And it'll draw a Belgian flag in that area. So we might call draw Belgian flag here with that left top and that right bottom, and then yet a different call here for that left top and that right bottom. Ignoring how we actually do that, let's go here and see us actually call it. So the larger Belgian flag we see, so this is 25, 25 is that point, and sure enough that looks like 25 in and 25 down. And 175, 150 is that point down there. To prove that that's it, let's just do this at 75. And we would expect this to shorten up and be kind of a funny shaped Belgian flag. And pardon me, that was actually the right. So to shorten up that dimension and have this really vertical, strange Belgian flag. Okay, if I were to undo that change and run it, here we go again. Cool. And draw a smaller one below it. And these, of course, are magic numbers, which are only here for the purposes of the demo. Much more interesting probably is this grid of Belgian flags, where we have a certain number of rows and columns. And we're computing the left, top, right, and bottom of each of these flags based upon where they are in the grid. We call draw Belgian flag repeatedly for each one of these. Fine. How do we actually draw a Belgian flag? Well, it's not that hard. What you're going to do is draw 3 stripes. You're going to draw a black stripe, a yellow stripe, and a red stripe. Okay? And all you do there is, if this is the left top and this is the right bottom, let's think about the x dimension. The left edge of the black is clearly the left edge of the entire flag. That's this x. The right edge of the black would be the left edge plus 1/3 of the width, which is right there. Excellent. So that's the black. But what was the width? Well, the difference from the right edge to the left edge. What about the yellow? Well, the yellow's left edge will pick up where the black left off. And the yellow's right edge would be 2/3 over. And here's a hint. Multiply before you divide. Just get into that habit. So if you ever do integer division, the truncation occurs at the end, so that you're not truncating and then multiplying to increase the error of truncation. Okay? In any case, finally, the red stripe naturally starts 2/3 the way over, and then it runs all the way to the right edge, which is x1. Okay? As for the tops, all the tops are the top and all the bottoms are the bottom of each of the stripes. A couple other things. You should not draw too much wastefully. It's okay to sometimes draw over a previous color or previous area that you've drawn if you kind of have to. Here, that's not the case, because what I'm saying is it would not be okay to make the entire thing black and then just draw the yellow and red over the black. It would look right, but it's wasteful. So instead, we're just going to do each stripe and only draw the 1/3 of the region that we have to. So you need to balance these concerns because, again, in some pictures, for example, when drawing a crescent, it's simply easier to draw a little bit over the previous one. If you don't know what I mean, let me say, say like a flag of Azerbaijan. I think that's a good one. And you can see that crescent, and if you're going to draw that, you probably draw a white circle and then draw a red circle over the white circle. That's just fine, because otherwise making that crescent-shaped white slice would be very difficult to do.